Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is Shashwat Mandal over here. So today, we will be discussing regarding for your NATA 2023 entrance exam. So we have quite a few topics to be covered up, and in the upcoming days, as we know, for the past 3 years, there has been no drawing, and the maximum amount of marks which is included in this whole set of paper is going to be there in your theoretical questions from drawing. Now, this can be something related to color psychology, something related to as discussed with both of you in your introduction sessions, that there are things related to the specific elements or structural design of a particular building composition or so. So today, we will be starting with design principles and the basics. The very first class, in terms of the topics that are to be clarified, okay, or with a PDF, we will discuss, or a study material that will happen from the next class onwards. Today, we will just try to understand some of the design principles, because before we go to that study material or set of PDF, that particular PDF, to understand that okay, what is or what are these principles that we are trying to learn. Before that, what we need to know or need to understand is that how these things are actually involved in our day-to-day lives, and we pass by them or we go through them, still we do not really get that okay, this is how it is being utilized, or this is how it is being used. So let's talk about quickly a few examples which I'm having right now around me, and we can talk about these things and how actually these things are working out in practical life. Give me a second, I will rotate my camera. Okay, so I will show you something for you can tell 3 to 4 seconds, and then you guys need to tell me what did you see. One object from what you have seen. Clear? Clear for both of you?
Okay, sir.
Okay, tell me now, what one object from everything that you have seen around you. Name one particular object which you have seen out of everything that you have seen.
Yes, sir. Bag, sir. Bag.
Bag. What was the color of the bag?
Red color, sir.
Okay, Karthik?
सर एक चैन था
नहीं, वो तो था ही. फर्स्ट आपका जो फर्स्ट व्यू में आपने क्या देखा? At a glance, जब आपने पहली बार देखा पूरा when you have seen the whole thing at once, what have you noticed?
सर रूम था, रूम के अंदर बहुत एक्सेसरीज थी.
One particular object जिसमें आपका first thing what you have noticed?
सर एक स्टैंड था ब्लैक कलर का.
हाँ, उसके ऊपर एक बैग था, right? Your eyes went first to that particular object, right? Okay, can you tell me the
Yes,
color
sir.
of the bag, which was the color of the painting which was hanging on the wall? Or
No, sir.
there were some other bags on the wall as well? Color of those bags? No, right? Shakti? There were two,
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Some stickers are there on wall, sir.
No, sticker and all is leave it. There were 2, 3 other bags hanging on the wall. What was the color of it?
Oh, sorry, sir. I have not observed.
No, you don't need to tell sorry. See, now why I have done this particular exercise right now. This is how our brain works, our eyes works, and everything. So these design principles, this exam which you are going to give, this laptop which you are using, everything is man-made. There is nothing in this world which was coexisting with human beings and that evolved with them. Right? So all these things are man-made. So how a person or how these man-made things are done depending upon human perception, or how might be if I talk about, let's assume 1,000 2,000 years back from now, some beautiful structure or something which is built to some such a perfection and all. But that point of time, they didn't have these terminologies. They had no schools or something like that, or a college wherein they will go and professors will tell, okay, this is how these things are built. You need to know, like, these particular calculations. Come and give the like assignment or go for this exam. This is how our human psychology and human brain. So actually, what happened right now is like the wall is of a color, tag is of a color. Quite a other few things are here. I have placed this particular red back in such a position, and the color of this particular object in comparison with the back is creating a huge amount of contrast. So contrast is one of the most important design principle, or like it is a phenomena of color. So what is contrast? See, contrast can be in terms of shape, size, color, everything. Not only in only terms of color. What is contrast? Contrast is nothing but whenever you see something which is out of the box in a group of something, so that particular object is creating a contrast. Now, right now, I'm talking about one particular object in a group of similar kind of things. Hence, so what will happen, for example, right now, let's assume Karthik is studying in school XYZ, okay? And everyone over there is from India, or like, our like state and all. Now, suddenly, let's assume in that particular school, one student from his parents might have shifted from US or somewhere like outside. They are like Western people, not from India. So this particular guy, he suddenly joined in school. So among every other student, that one guy, everyone's attraction will go to him. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Will go. Why is your attention going to him? Because he is different from the rest of the people, right? In some of the other terms, quote unquote, I am not racial profiling anyone. So he is different, hence you are looking at it. Similarly, now why he is different? That difference is being created due to contrast. Whenever there is a difference, there is a sense of contrast. Let's assume there are several normal buildings, okay? There are like 200, 100, 200 normal buildings in a locality. Suddenly a builder came and he took a lot of space and he built a skyscraper. So everyone who passes by that road or the central road in that area, any other building you notice or you will notice that tall skyscraper. If you go to South Mumbai and you are traveling by a car, I like for sure you will know or like you do notice something or else is like I don't know, but for sure you will go and notice anti-lean. You will remember something or the other, like okay, this is how it looks. Might be you know like you will not know the building which is beside it. So this is how all our brain or like our psychological aspects work. Now this sense of difference, one thing from the other, the way how you can differentiate things is all we are talking about. Contrast. Contrast results in, so whenever contrast is resulting in one particular object on which your eyes is going, then it is known as emphasis. We are looking at that particular object that which is being highlighted. This is again one other design principle that we will be going through. So this is how these things work. Now let's talk about like see these particular things which I am discussing right now. We could have like if for students who are here like studying for the past 1 year, we have discussed with them in course of time, shown some examples and lots of other things slowly. But for you guys, we need to take it a bit in a faster mode because we have 1 month left before which we need to complete everything. After that, like we will be having some mock tests and all, then your like second attempt of exam, which is first attempt for both of you, and then we have some revision time and then the third attempt. So over here we're talking about emphasis and contrast. Now uh, let's assume I will try to arrange something on this particular table. Yes, sir. So again, you will see something for 3 to 4 seconds and you're going to tell me like, okay, question I will ask you after that.
Okay, sir.
Let me fix it. What you can see? A specs box, 2 phone, 1 mouse, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, what you have seen, like, in this composition, what do you feel about it? Tell me your feelings about this setting, what you have seen just right now.
Two phones, one specs box, and one mouse, sir.
These are objects. What do you feel? Like, I have explained you contrast, emphasis, and lots of other things. Tell me, what do you feel about this? Tell me. I know
That
you do not.
mouse color is shining, sir.
Yeah?
Mouse color is shining, sir. It is attracting.
Okay, it is attractive. Okay. See, now, this particular mouse which you have seen right now, you told it is
Yes, sir.
attracting. Again, the same thing is occurring over here. Since the mouse, like, in respect to this particular, give me a second, please. Since this mouse in particular, like, with the this particular, like, desk or this table which is over here is in contrast, that is what, like, is shining, or you can see it properly, right? But the
Yes, sir.
setting which right now, on one hand side you have seen 3 phones, a specs box, another side a very simple mouse. So if I consider that a portrait composition, if I consider that a very simple portrait composition, what is happening over here, what you have seen just right now is an asymmetrical balance. Things are maintained in a well format, a constructed format, but there is, like, like something is missing. So what is missing is one side you see the weightage of the composition is more. It feels like bulky. Other side you see it's kind of like, just one simple object and it feels lighter. It feels like the painter or whatever picture has been clicked, everything is on one hand side of the composition. See, you need to feel this thing, then only, like, the explanation makes sense. Are you getting it, or there is something like some other point of view? Please tell me.
Sir, what is meant by asymmetric, sir?
Asymmetric in the sense is symmetrical. So when we are talking about symmetrical and asymmetrical composition and design principle, by this terms we mean that in a particular composition. So right now you see me, okay? What are you seeing in my like this my rectangular screen? What you can see? Is it a symmetric or is it asymmetric? See over here, okay, I will tell. See over here,
Sir,
when we
symmetric and asymmetric. Sir, one minute. In mirror, there is symmetric and asymmetric. That is in this same, sir.
absolutely. So in mirror, we talk about symmetrical and asymmetrical. So by that, like whenever there is a mirror image, we are talking about symmetrical in terms of exactly the same. When we talk about asymmetrical, not the same. Over here in
Yes.
design principle or in a composition or in a setting, when we talk about symmetrical or asymmetrical, we are trying to look at the weightage of the composition, the look of the whole structure. How is it? Is it in a properly maintained balance, or, like, where it looks? So right now, if I sit like this, and right now you are seeing me. So symmetrical and asymmetrical balance in a composition necessarily doesn't mean that, let's assume an axis is running over here, okay? An axis is going, imaginary axis. So necessarily it doesn't mean that every time, like, everything will be exactly same on what is over here on the left hand side to what is over here on the right hand side, okay? It doesn't mean that. Over here in composition, what we mean that the balance of the composition should be similar. So let's assume, with one simple example, I can tell you this particular composition, what you are seeing me right now, this is an asymmetrical composition due to this particular television set.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Creating and as, like, darker look and creating a heavy structure, like it gives you a feel that this side is more, like, more number of objects in here, and makes the composition bulkier on this side rather than keeping it on the left hand side. Now, for example, I will keep it close over here. Let's assume I have hold a phone like this, which is closer to the camera. Okay, because if I put it on the wall, it will look very small. I will take it closer to the camera, and if I am holding it like this, it is not symmetrical. But it is not like, a mirror image on both the sides of the axis. But this is a symmetrical composition now. Okay, so this is how it works.
Sir.
Any
If imaginary axis is in the middle of your nose, sir, then your picture is asymmetric. No.
Yeah, this is asymmetric in terms of this side is bulkier in terms of a composition.
Yes.
The picture.
I got
That's
it,
why
sir.
I took the phone over here and I told now it is symmetric. Why is it symmetric? Because the whole sense of the composition is being fulfilled. You will see, however it is over here, this side is also looks at this equal weightage. So this is how it is symmetric. It needs not to be that, okay, exactly how this side has a TV, this side also, so it need not to be a mirror image. The simple explanation is, in a composition or in a structure, when we talk about in building structures and all, the like when we talk about balance, whether it's symmetrical or it's asymmetrical, the simple explanation is the axis can run vertically, can run horizontally, can run diagonally. Both the sides of the axis should have the equal amount of weightage. Okay. Clear? Any doubts? Anything?
No,
No,
sir. I got it.
Emphasis, contrast, and symmetrical balance are or this balance. Why I discussed initially is that these are the very basic things about which you need to have at least some knowledge to go further, and then to discuss in detail about the rest of the things or so. So now I will tell a few things which I was supposed to tell in your introduction sessions, or as I informed you earlier that I will be informing you in your first class. One thing is that from the next class onwards, like there will be few classes like this in between where we will be just interacting, trying to understand real life examples, go through things and do some assignments and all. But other than that, most or maximum of the classes we will go through some PDF and we will understand, or whether it's a PDF or not, we will have the first half an hour, 40 minutes for the discussion part. Okay. Discussion in terms of if I'm discussing topic, I will clarify it, whatever is there from my side. Then we will go into the discussion in terms of example, one-to-one interaction. Like if you have some doubt, we will try to interact. So what will happen in this mode is whatever class is being taken now is being recorded and will be uploaded in your app. So today's class is also going to be uploaded. Next class onwards, when we do that, whenever you are watching it afterwards and you are trying to do a recap, you will go through the topic. There will be like, you will not waste your time for with the in-between discussions. So if it is a half an hour recording, 30 minutes class recording, that recording will be just based on, okay, we have discussed elements of design, this topic. So that recording, if you watch, you will get to go through these particular topic itself. And if we go the other way around, that okay, we are discussing something and taking questions in between, then the problem is it will be a 1 hour recording. And if when you try to watch that recording, you will waste data, you will waste time, and you will not be able to get that, okay, these are the exact topics which is going to be discussed in the class. So this is how it's going to be from next class onwards. For today, it's fine.
Okay, sir.
And yeah, coming to your web portal, I have informed to you. So what you need to do for web portal thing is, I will share you a drafted message. There will be a link. I will share it to you on in your this announcement section itself in the app. You can click on that link. As soon as you click on that link, you will be on a web page or web portal. So I will do one thing. I will share that link to you on app also and on WhatsApp also, because you need to open it on your laptop, right? When you click on that link, a web page will open. And in that page, you need to enter your contact number with which you have registered on app, same number. And you will get a OTP, enter that OTP, you will be logged in the web portal. I will show you a glimpse of the web portal, how it will look for you. So just give me a second, I will log out as a faculty and I will log in as a student and show you. Give me a minute. Then we will do some assignment on these two topics for today. I will share the screen. So as soon as you click on that link, this is how your page will appear. Organization code will be again mentioned in that particular drafted message which I will share you. You need to click
link. Where will be, sir?
Huh?
Link.
A link you will receive it after class. I will share the drafted message. Don't worry. By today evening,
an email you will share our app, sir.
You will receive it on app announcement section as well as on WhatsApp.
Okay, sir.
You click on that link, you will be redirected to this particular page. You type the organization code CCRBJ, code will again be mentioned in that particular message. Type your contact number over here. Give me a second. So after that, a page will come for the OTP. So page will be there for OTP, and as soon as I click on that OTP and I click on enter or proceed, this particular page will come, and this is how your app is going to look. For you guys, the second course will not be there right now. I am logged in into 2 different courses as a student to check with the other students. This is how. So for you, only NATA 2023 regular will be there in batches. Timetable, there will be nothing mostly, because inside your batches you will get your timetable. Reports, is in terms of, let's assume if there is a test and all your test papers mark sheets will be over here. There is no payments for you guys. You haven't made any payments from app, so payments will be 0. In chat section, whatever we have communicated, those chats will be here. For example, I am also registered in your course, and Shakti has written hello, then class started. So Karthik has written okay. After that, from our side, we have written this is not me as a student. Right now, I am as a student. So what the institute has written, everyone please join the class. So this is how you will get it. Store is again for the purchase thing. You have already purchased your course, so there is nothing that you need to go into. So over here, you come to batches. You click on NATA 2023. Over here, the same thing, same format: overview, attendance, assignment, announcement. However, everything is over there, and whatever it is there for you to take to go through.
It is same in app also, no, sir?
Same, everything. So for web portal, what you will do is you will click on the link every time which I have shared you. You will enter your same contact number, and before that, enter the organization code RBJ. Okay, that will be written in message, so you don't need to remember it. Enter organization code, your registered mobile number. Click on proceed. You will receive a OTP. Click on proceed. You will be redirected to this particular batches page. Click on NATA 2023 regular, and after that, same thing like app. Whatever you can access on app, you can access over here as well. Clear?
Why it is required, sir?
It is required mostly for test. Other things you test, and if you want to see a study material, if you feel that the size of your phone is too small, right? So you want to see it on a larger screen, you can use the app.
Oh. Got it, sir. Got it. Yeah. To log in the systems and some other things.
For test, it is most important. For test, how it will go, we will discuss. I will inform you guys how it will go in test. Okay.
Okay. Sir.
Now we will try to do some assignment on what we have discussed today. Just give me a second. So right now we have discussed in general. Now we will go through these things again, when we are starting, just for the basics part. And today is your first class, so I'm taking it a bit lightly. Your this design principle, what it is all about, and how these things are really being implemented. I've just tried to give you an overview of that. See, you can see, most importantly, if I talk about in our day-to-day life, you are on the road. You have seen road signs, right? Why red signal is used, for if something is dangerous there, because that is the as per as the wavelength, you can see red light from a very far distance compared to any of the other lights. I guess you both are aware about that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And red color is being used. You see those white color lane markers on the road, because it is in a huge contrast with the remaining set. So over here, when I was talking about, okay, that contrast can be in terms of not only color, but in terms of shape as well. So that can happen, let's assume in terms of, I have 2 phones over here, okay? I'm holding 3 phones for an advertisement like this. And while holding these 2 phones over here, let's put it like this. And beside it, I don't have any keypad over here. If I am holding another keypad phone over here, then the keypad phone will automatically create a contrast in comparison with these 2 things.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
I'm keeping it on a plain white sheet of paper. And the picture which you are seeing is a white sheet of paper. You see these two or several phones like this. Let's assume 5 phones are kept. And in between somewhere a small keypad phone is kept. You might not notice what handset is all the other phones. What is the brand or what is the model. But you for sure you will definitely notice that particular keypad phone. Or like right now, one more thing, very simply, which attracts a lot of people. Even attracted any person is that whenever you see an Apple iPhone, right? If there are several Android phones kept and you will see an iPhone in between, for sure you will not notice what are the other Android phones, what is their brand here, or what is the model of that particular phone. But in that iPhone you will definitely remember, okay, it is iPhone 12, 13, 14, whatever it is. So this is how contrast really works. These are real life examples I have tried to give you. So I have told you about balance. I have told you about emphasis and contrast. Now, quickly, you have around take time of around 20 minutes, 20 to maximum 25 minutes. Click minimum 5 pictures, which will implicate emphasis, first thing. Secondly, go for contrast. Now, as I have mentioned, so what is contrast? Contrast is something when it is creating a difference with the rest of the setting, or like trying to, for example, contrast is just the work of light and shadow. Okay, I will give you a second example so it will be more clear. Right now, what can you see right now? Over here in this section, what can you see?
Airport box and mobile phone.
A box, I got it. What can you see in this particular cap section? Only white color? Anything else can you see?
Yes, only white color, sir.
Only white color. Okay. Now, if I slowly move the light and if I show it to you like this, what can you see?
I can see the shadow inside the box and
Not
one
shadow,
small.
show it clearly. These are the two caps brought where the head of the AirPods go in, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can see that. Why you can see that, and right now why you can't? Because this is how the work of light and shadow actually works. You might have seen on your roof, if there is a this thing, like the boundary wall is there, it is carved in some design. As far as the during sunset and sunrise, as far as the light and shadow effect, it is creating some sort of patterns and all, right? So this is how contrast works. Now over here, if just this particular thing is being shown to you with this kind of light effect, over here there is contrast, but there is no emphasis. So wherever there is an emphasis, there needs to be a contrast, because that is how the emphasis is being created. Without contrast, without that difference, you cannot, one particular thing will not be highlighted. Clear? But a contrast can be there and there can be no emphasis. That can easily happen. This is what I have just tried to explain you with the Radham or this particular object and the pattern which you see on roof during sunrise and sunset with those boundary walls. So this is how it works. Now what you need to do, this 5 pictures, like compositions in terms of, put your phone in landscape mode and try to click 5 pictures around, in and around. This can be something out from the nature, out of the balcony, inside, anything. Now what will happen is, one will be wherein will be a particular object being highlighted. Example for it. One example, composition wherein there will be contrast, nothing particular being highlighted. So over here, like the red bag or something like that, no particular object my eye should go to, but I can see the work of contrast over there. The contrast is there everywhere. Without contrast, you cannot see me also right now. If there is no contrast, me and the wall will look the same. That is what camouflage does actually. When camouflage, what they do, they reduce the amount of contrast. I guess most of you have seen those cartoons and all, wherein they try to put a cover and resemble themselves with the wall. So what they do, they reduce the contrast. Try to click some good example of contrast, one of emphasis, and the other 3 compositions what I have told. Out from them, try to show one composition wherein without contrast, like right now I have showed you this example, that without contrast how this particular space is looking. So without contrast how this space is looking. And the 2 other things, how I have showed you these 5 objects on table. One as symmetrical balance, one asymmetrical balance. Here, note it down. That will be easier. Symmetrical balance, asymmetrical balance, contrast, no contrast, emphasis. Clear? Any questions, any doubts? You can go and click the pictures right now.
In app, sir.
No, not an app. Click normally. Those pictures you click, you will have to click normally. And after clicking, I will create an assignment over here. You will get to see the assignment. For both of you, how I have shown, upload those pictures in the assignment. Assignment will be named as classwork, first class, like, classwork, classwork, or class 1 for design principle. Like, assignment, something will be named like this. I will write it down. Upload the pictures in the app. First click and then upload.
So what, sir?
5 pictures. One will be of emphasis, one of contrast, one of no contrast, one of symmetrical balance, one of asymmetrical balance.
Where we should get this picture, sir?
In and around you itself, wherever, whatever objects are there, wherever you are, try to find. Clear?
Sir,
Karthik?
emphasis means one more. Sir, emphasis one more, sir.
Emphasis is one particular object will, so you are clicking a picture, for example, this is a picture, one particular object will be highlighted. Where I am talking about contrast, nothing particular is being highlighted, but the clear idea of contrast is there. One thing without contrast, so I have shown you airport and the center, like without contrast, the way the light is falling, there is no contrast and you cannot see those particular spaces. So similarly, one particular composition without contrast, and the two other composition is one of asymmetrical balance, one of asymmetrical balance.
Yes, sir.
Clear, Karthik?
Yes, sir.
Pictures, click it now. I'm creating the assignment, upload over there, and then we will discuss.
Now itself we should submit the assignment, sir.
Yeah, now itself. You have around 20 minutes time. Go and click it. 15, 20 minutes. Take the time.
Class will terminate now, sir.
No, class will go on. Class will go on. Let the Zoom meeting be like, running behind. Turn off your video. Go click the pictures. Upload it in assignment. Let it run. And then we will discuss. I will screen share those compositions which we have uploaded. And then we will discuss this. Clear?